What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to the 11th and penultimate episode of Koikimo. This one's titled High Schooler. So yeah, we're already getting to that point of the season. Since this one aired a week earlier than the actual TV broadcast, it means it's going to be one of the first shows to finish. The first one is, of course, How Not to Summon Demon Lord, since that only was a 10-episode season. Then it becomes this, because it aired a week early. And then some of the other shows will start wrapping up over the course of the next 2-3 weeks or so. Well, the season, by the way, just in general, has been a very good season. I don't know if it's been as good as last season necessarily. Winter was a amazing season for me. This one still has some banging shows, including this one. But I don't know if overall I'm going to rate it higher or not. We'll see when we get to that point. But last couple of episodes of this show have been really, really good. And have genuinely surprised me in the fact that they are willing to take this main route seriously. Like, it seems... I think I'm very much a romance anime type of person. I think you guys know that by now. I have a great appreciation for romance shows. We saw that with Tonikawa. We saw that with Adachi Shimomura. It's like, I love my romance genre. We've seen that in movies as well, and some of the movies that I tend to gravitate towards and find more enjoyment in. And as such, this kind of deals with the same basic tropes that most Japanese romance anime have, and it's still one of my biggest critiques of Japanese romance anime is they're never willing to go beyond the confession stage. It's always get to the confession, done with the work. That seems to be the way, at least in anime form, how it works out. That's why I really liked Horimiya, because it decided to go way beyond that point. It's why I liked Oren Monogatari, because it decided to go beyond that point. And whilst it still included similar tropes, it was in a different context of the tropes, which I think made it a bit fresh. And to that extent, this again, it uses similar tropes, but because of the setting of a 27-year-old and a 17-year-old, it has a different feel to it, and you're always constantly thinking, in certain instances, but the way they've handled it has been genuinely rather nice. And they've done that by, I think, the way they've managed to make this work is by making Ryo not seem like a 27-year-old in Ichika's presence. Like, aside from the physicality of him, his attitude towards her is just of a giddy 17-year-old boy. It really is. Like, and it's kind of interesting to tell based on how he was very, very early on when talking with other women that he'd maybe been with before. I think there was a scene where he was, like, kind of being seduced by one of his exes, right? Right as he was talking to Ichika. I think that happened, like, episode 2 or something. You can just see how his attitude is wildly different, depending on who he's with. And you can tell that Ichika, he genuinely has fallen in love with Ichika, rather than just given into the idea of, I guess I'll be in a relationship, that he might have been with other times. And I think it's that display of his character, that he's honestly genuine about this, that I think really changes the mood of the show quite drastically. And seeing the progress that they're making, and he's pushing the line a little bit here and there, but that's part of relationships. You have to push the boundaries to see where they actually are. If you just play it safe all the time, you're going to miss out on opportunities. If you just rush too far forward, you risk destroying the thing entirely. So you've just got to tentatively push the barriers to see how far you can go with it, and see if it's reciprocated, see if it's not, and be like, okay, we'll see. And I think he's been towing that line very, very well. And you can tell that Ichika, and even the side characters, right? Ichika and Tamaru, their little thing was very well handled. Ryo and Arietti's thing was very well handled. We have Master as a great supporting friend character for Ryo. I would have liked there to be a bit more of that. Apart from that one main conversation that we got last episode, I wouldn't mind there being a bit more of him and their conversations together. But considering the runtime of the show, I think I wouldn't say we should lose anything else just for that, honestly. It's been pretty well paced so far. The sister, Ryo, has been very supportive of her brother. It's going to be interesting to see now that the dad's back on the scene, to see what happens with that. I'm assuming he has to confront Dad about this. There's no way he's gonna... I guess he has to confront the age gap. And part of that is gonna have to be to explain to the dad, like, yeah, I'm in love with your daughter's best friend. That's a rough conversation to have. how do you even begin to approach something like that? I don't know. They're not on the best of terms. They really aren't. Bringing that into it? I don't know. That's just asking to be disowned or something. Like, not that it really matters when you're 27. Does being disowned when you're 27 really mean anything at that point? I guess because Japan has a lot more focus on like family ties and such, at least in their depiction from what I've seen. Maybe it means something, but in the modern world, maybe I don't think it means quite so much. And if you're already sorted in life, does disownment necessarily impact you anywhere? I guess there might be some things that it might be like, wait, why were you disowned? And it's like starts to put a little stigma on it, but I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. Anyway, we're just going to get into the episode because I'm excited to see where this goes. And wrapping up towards the finale, I'm going to be curious to see how much they're going to commit on this, or if they're going to leave it open-ended, because I think this is a full adaptation of the source material, so there won't be anything more to watch after this. Maybe the source material will have a slightly different ending, or maybe it'll have some more context for certain other scenes, but other than that, I expect this to be like, that's it, that's the conclusion. I'd be amazed if this got a sequel, because it would mean it would be an anime original, and that would be crazy. So I think this is just going to be a one-and-done, complete work. So I guess we'll see. But as per usual, these are time-based format reactions here on YouTube. If you want to see the full picture-in-picture, you can go to my Patreon down in the description below. £4 a month gets you access to all picture-in-picture reactions I do on the channel, which is everything from the current seasonal lineup, as well as Patreon request shows such as World Trigger, Symphogear G, and Lock Horizon Season 2. We also have movie reactions, and by the time you're watching this, the poll has already concluded, and we'll be watching insert movie here, essentially. I think it's going to be Pancreas, but we'll see. That'll be coming out on, well, either... Hang on, let's make sure this is correct. So Saturday 19th or Saturday 26th is when it will be coming out. Probably the 19th, but it might be the 26th, depending on how timing works out. This Saturday should hopefully be Princess Principal Crown Handler, with an actual version that has decent subtitles, but I guess we'll see. Depends if I can get that. If not, I might put Pancreas there instead, or whatever movie ends up winning. But we do that every month, so if you want to vote for movies next month, I might be changing the way I do it a little bit next month. But otherwise, we will still be doing the same old thing of voting for movies regardless. So you can go on Patreon and stick around for next month, and you'll see what that's like as well. So here on YouTube, though, we do time-based. So bottom left of the screen, you'll see a time of the episode. I count down 3, 2, 1, play. Then play you start the episode, I start the episode, we should be in sync. Watch this one on Crunchyroll as per usual, since they're the ones who licensed it, and are licensing it a week earlier than TV broadcast in Japan, which is very rare for them to do, like, on a regular basis. Like, sometimes they'll do it for, like, oh, it's a web exclusive for the first episode or whatever, but never normally, like, the entire season is a week ahead, so just kind of an interesting deal they managed to get. I think that's because of Amazon. Like, Amazon Prime Japan, I think, has this a week ahead of everyone else as well, and then Crunchyroll just kind of inherited into that as well. But you can use Screen Flash on my face, the mic, or this part of my headset as well to tell them the scenes are transitioning. That should help you sync it up a bit. And with all that said, let's get into this week's episode, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. Yep. Right. I'm guessing she doesn't. It's not the end of the world. Yeah. Don't need to hurry. PE teacher, okay. Makes sense. That tracks, honestly. Yeah, probably a bit pricey. Fashion design, okay. Getting that kind of tracks. Hmm. Okay. Uh, lawyer, huh? Interesting. I mean, yeah, interesting. There's a lot of work. Hmm. Hmm. Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, do need to put some thought into it, but hmm. God, love this OP. Love it. So title: High Schooler. Cafe. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. What do you plan to do? Liberal arts. Okay. That kind of tracks. Hmm. Yeah. Yep. Does seem that way, doesn't it? That's true. I mean, yeah. You immediately think of, right? Same advice. Hmm. Okay. Curator. How do you study to be a curator, I suppose? I guess you have to study, not creating art, but yeah. Oh boy. Hmm. Hmm. Probably, yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Curatorship, okay. Exploring art museums. New art gallery, huh? It's like it's all lining up to be. The universe is giving you a hint. Uh huh. Oh boy. Oh boy. Stay quiet, eat, and just get through it. Don't acknowledge. Yeah, and both of them know how awkward it is. God, it's so awkward. Mm-hmm. Living in the Ice Age. Hmm. Okay. Uh, okay, so mum knows. Yep. Oh, that's. Oh no. Ooh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. Oh no. That's. This is. Yeah, here comes an argument. I mean, it's not like that. It's phrasing. Yeah. Stop making assumptions. How about you settle down a little bit? Yeah. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the fact that he found it out on his own accord is really not helping this. Yeah. Mm. Talking, arguing. Mm-hmm. Right. Just tell him the truth. Just tell him what you know. Doesn't want to obscure it. Can be honest and open. Okay. Hmm. He's willing to confront it. Things are a little awkward right now. Oh boy. Oh boy. Uh, oh boy. Don't you dare say anything. Immediately takes that stance. Oh, phrasing. Come on. At least. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. That went okay. That went okay. Boy. We invite Rio and Ichiko, are we? Mm-hmm. Now she lets them know. Uh, yeah. Okay. Hmm. Maybe because it's in a group. Maybe it's just the effects of recently. Ooh. Hmm. Hmm. Yep, already eating. Relatable. Oh, what is it? Ah, okay. Okay. I don't get that reference, but... Why? Why? So dumb. Okay. Take the hint. Take the freaking hint, face. Yes, I need that. I need that screen grab. That's brilliant. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Nice. Hmm. That was done, you guys. Uh... hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yep. Yep. That tracks. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Oh, it's raining. That's a shame. Hmm. And then Dad? Hmm. A good memory with Dad. Mm-hmm. And now look at you two. Okay, gonna talk about it. Hmm. She'd have him Rio. Mm-hmm. Yep. Sort of. Mm-hmm. Oh, hello. The filters have arrived. We're about to be blocked. They're gonna return. It's gonna be blocked. It's not gonna happen. Yeah, there we go. You can't confess on episode 11. It's not allowed to confess on episode 11. She was about to say something, though. Potentially, the confession. Now he's gonna feel uneasy about that the entire time. Yakisoba, staple. His little reaction at the end, though, of realizing, wait, was that? Oh, that was a good episode. I still am wondering about the dad. He seemed to take Ichika's word for it. I don't know if that's just him being polite and not to cause a scene, especially with Rio kind of right there as well. Or I wonder if he's been slightly convinced by that. I wonder. I'm sure we're going to have that final conversation with Dad as well. That was a good episode, though. Very, very good episode. No after credits, just the final episode title. Wonder if we'll have another variety scene before the end of the show. That's new, isn't it? That is new. Okay. You're not quite the episode 12 love confession title you'd necessarily expect, huh? But I mean, it's disgusting to call this love. You're creepy as the final episode title. I mean, that kind of tracks with the theme of the show, right? So I suppose it kind of works out. Still not the expected title for something like that, but yeah, genuinely, this show is doing well. The dad is, yeah, he made those assumptions immediately based on what he overheard. I still think he would have made the exact same assumptions even if Rio had told him personally. I think in those situations it is always better to be the one to bring it up and not let them overhear it somewhere else, obviously. I think if Rio had full control, he would have liked to have told his dad what was going on before he overheard it from someone else. Like he said, he doesn't have anything to hide, so he should be the one to tell him, but obviously he overheard, and that kind of just started to mess everything up. But yeah, I think he might be seeing how Ichika talks about him. Maybe he'll be a little bit more swayed and realizing, wait, maybe it's not how I immediately thought it out to be. That would be a huge step for him to make that assumption, or to turn away from his assumptions and actually start thinking, maybe I was in the wrong. It'd be very quick turnaround, don't get me wrong, but I think that's just because of the pacing of the show that we've only just introduced Dad really this episode properly. We've alluded to him in previous episodes as well as his return last episode, but this is the first episode we actually get to see him, and we don't have enough time to really expand upon it beyond that. But maybe he was swayed by Ichika there. Maybe. We'll see. It's going to be awkward between them anyway, I'm sure, but maybe it'll be a little less awkward from now on. Maybe. Just maybe. Anyway, very good episode. Very enjoyable. Nice to see the characters moving forwards. Ichika. Ichika making some steps. Willing to confront it. And again, Ryo's little reaction, just he's like, just that was kind of cute, I must admit. Like I said, Ryo is just, he regresses into a 17-year-old kid when it comes to Ichika. He really does. And again, I still think that's the strength of the show. If he was always the 27-year-old confident businessman that always seemed to have a handle on everything, was just kind of smooth and all that, I think that show, it would have come across much worse. I genuinely do believe so. But because his personality does regress into that of a teenage boy, I think the show just works. along with all the other factors of actually making it a decently well-paced story with actual good character-defining moments to it as well, not being too forceful or pushy to try and force them together. They've given them both routes in which they could have bailed, but they decided not to because they've spent so much time together. And I really liked last episode's way of handling it with Arietti, because she said, I fell in love with the you that's in love with someone. Like, the person I fell in love with is the person that was already in love with someone. Like, she didn't necessarily fall in love with him before that side of him started to come out, and she was just too late to that side of him. So, I like that kind of explanation about it. I really do. But anyway, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed that one as per usual. Leave a like if you did, as well as your comments what you thought of the episode. Don't forget to hit subscribe as well to see the final episode next week, as well as the rest of the Spring 2021 lineup that is wrapping up here on the channel. Thank you for watching. Till next time. See you guys later.